What's up, you guys? Josh here today, back at you today with a brand new and special Star Wars Galaxy's Edge review. Today I actually got here a special unboxing video for you guys, and that is going to be for the Galaxy's Edge Legacy Lightsaber from The Return of the Jedi. This is the Luke Skywalker Legacy Lightsaber, and this is one that I actually really wanted. This is something that I really wanted to review for you guys on my channel, and this is something that actually just shipped in about a week ago. I ordered it after trying to get a PlayStation 5, didn't really get one, and I saw this on their website from the shop, Disney shop. Now, as you guys know, I'm a huge fan of the original trilogy. I'm a huge fan of Luke Skywalker and Return of the Jedi. I'm a huge fan of the original trilogy in general, and so this lightsaber here really means a lot to me. It really symbolizes, Joseph Campbell and the hero's journey, and the hero of the Thousand Faces, as well as Power of Myth, which I've definitely read and sort of, kind of gone over and discussed with you guys on my channel. And sort of this encompasses everything that is, Star Wars for me, and that's why this is one of the reasons why when I saw this on the Shop Disney website, I jumped at the chance of getting one. Now, I did try and order the Obi-Wan Kenobi as well as Darth Vader Legacy lightsabers back when they were on the Shop Disney shop, but they eventually sold out like relatively quickly. It's like the same situation as when I was trying to order the PlayStation 5, which I've had a lot of issues trying to order that thing. So hopefully Sony can kind of get their act together, and so they can finally allow me to purchase the console that I've wanted for a while now. But that is neither here nor there. But this is something that I got as a consolation prize. As you guys know, this is the Legacy lightsaber from Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Now, I do not live in Florida or California, so I can't really travel that far in order to get it. But what I did do is I did go to Shop Disney. Now, everybody knows on sort of social media, I've been kind of begging and asking for Shop Disney, or sort of the Disney website, to kind of allow you to purchase these Legacy lightsabers pretty much for a while now. This is one of the ones that I really wanted. This was one of the ones that when I was looking at researching sort of, Legacy lightsabers on YouTube, it was the one that it kind of drew my eye, especially since I really do love my Ultra Sabers Archon V2, which I do have, which is very, very similar to this one. We'll be discussing that in a little bit. There's also an emitter adapter for this, which is similar to that of the Archon V3. Now, the Ultra Sabers Archon model does have MHS compatible parts, which the Legacy lightsaber is pretty similar in that nature. It does come in this relatively cool crate. I still haven't taken off all of the tape that's on here, but it looks similar to that of the crates that are in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. To open it, all you do is press this little emblem right here, and this thing just pops open like so, and then inside it reveals the Legacy lightsaber itself. It has sort of this nice cushion padding and stuff like that, and I was relatively surprised at how well this thing was strapped together. I was kind of worried that with shipping and everything, this might get damaged or whatnot, but this has not gotten damaged at all. I think this thing arrived safely, and it was not harmed in any means. It actually still works, which is kind of shocking to me as well. I've had some stuff shipped before and it's arrived damaged, but not from, sort of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge or even sort of the Shop Disney store itself. This is actually the first stuff that I've actually purchased. So what do you get out of the box? Well, you get the Legacy lightsaber itself. You get this sort of thin neck emitter, which is very similar to that of the Archon V3 from Ultra Sabers, whereas the Archon V3, you can place a blade in that hilt. With the Legacy lightsaber from Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, you actually cannot put a hilt or a blade on sort of this hilt, which kind of sucks. I kind of wish that they would have allowed you the ability to kind of put a lightsaber blade on the thin neck emitter, and I think that's one of the things that a lot of people comment on when they're kind of talking about the Legacy lightsaber from Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, is the fact that you can't really put a lightsaber blade on sort of this thinner neck, which is, pretty much the exact sort of neck that you kind of got in sort of the original trilogy movies. You got this sort of thin neck emitter, so this is highly accurate, and I think that for display purposes, this is going to look really, really good on sort of a shelf. If you have sort of a room or an office where you kind of put sort of your collectibles and stuff like that, especially lightsabers and stuff like that, I think that this is definitely going to be where you're going to be displaying sort of this lightsaber, especially if you're trying to do a fan film and you want to kind of use this as sort of, sort of in a fan film like that, and you're doing sort of a Star Wars fan film and you need sort of a lightsaber similar to that of Luke Skywalker's, you can certainly do that as well. The only thing that I would not recommend is you actually fighting with this thing. I do think that this is sort of a light sparring, light dueling sort of Legacy lightsaber hilt. This is meant for that purpose. Is not meant for sort of heavy dueling, which is something that I think with people that purchase combat-ready lightsabers, especially people in the lightsaber community such as myself, are really looking forward to. But I am really stoked to have this in my possession. I'm really stoked to have this sort of Archon-style hilt. I really do love my Archon from Ultra Sabers. I swing that thing around a lot, so to be able to have something like this that's almost movie accurate to the point where it's almost identical to the one in the film, That's one of the things that I look at when I collect this stuff, is whether or not it's actually movie accurate, whether or not it's legit to the one that's used in the movie. What if it looks like it's something that came off of the actual screen use prop itself, then I'm going to go purchase this. And this is actually $130, $160 with tax. And then you also have to factor in that you get the 36-inch blade from Doc Anders. You don't get the choice on the Disney shop to get the smaller blades, which they do have if you do go to Galaxy's Edge and go to Doc Anders, which is a little bit disappointing because I would have liked to have had the option to at least have sort of that smaller blade length. I like to do that with my Ultra Sabers, is I like to sort of have that smaller blade length just so I can swing this around in my house and stuff like that a little bit easier. But in the hand, this definitely does feel relatively good. As I swing this, as I sort of move this around like so. Now this is a relatively light lightsaber, and it's kind of funny because that wasn't intended to be a pun, but here we go. I feel like with the Archon, that was one of the reasons why I really liked it. Is because you got sort of this grenade section here, and then you got sort of the thin neck emitter, which I tend to hold sort of my hands towards the grenade section near sort of the emitter area, and then I kind of swing around like this as a one-handed grip. You can hold it two-handed, but I do think that for this lightsaber alone, you can grip this one-handed, especially with the Ultra Sabers model as well, which is the Archon V2 and the Archon V3. What's cool about this is you actually get this triangular shaped D-ring. It's not sort of the normal D-ring that you would find at something like Ultra Sabers or on their sort of website. But for sort of the replica prop, I think that this is the more accurate version. I think that Galaxy's Edge really outdid themselves with this lightsaber. I am going to show you guys kind of how to remove the emitter section. It's very similar to the Ultra Sabers way of doing it, where you kind of just unscrew sort of this MHS compatible part, and it does make some squeaky noises, so it's a little bit annoying. But this is metal, so this is not sort of a plastic blade, and this is sort of the connector piece. I don't know if you can see that here. And then you got the activation box with sort of the activation switch that you press either up or down where you want to power up and power down your lightsaber. This is the piece that comes with it that you can swap out with sort of the thicker neck emitter, and it's also made of metal, so you can put a blade on the thicker neck emitter. So I am going to put this down for a second here and pull out sort of the thicker neck emitter. If you guys look here in this crate, there's actually a second piece underneath. It's covered by sort of that nice material that comes packaged with the box itself. So you just pull that out, and then here is your thicker neck emitter, and you just pull this plastic piece out, and then you can swap the parts out, which is relatively cool and relatively easy. There's nothing sort of difficult about doing that at all. So I'm going to do that real quick. I'm going to actually cut this. So I'm going to push the D-ring down, and to just put it back on, all you have to do is twist righty-tighty, lefty-loosey on sort of the emitter, and there you are. Now, do keep in mind when you actually get the lightsaber, there is this blade plug that goes inside of the emitter for when you're not using it. I was actually putting the blade in and kind of swinging around a little bit before I actually made this video, so that is why this is actually out. But I'm going to put this back where it belongs, and I'm actually going to put my emitter back in sort of the little box here, because that is going to be for my display purpose when I do get my stand, which is coming as well from Shop Disney. I did buy the lightsaber belt clip, so maybe I'll do a review of that in a different video. I also got the stand from Galaxy's Edge coming as well. But really, right now, what I wanted to do is, show you guys the nitty-gritty, details about this lightsaber, because I know that this does get a lot of views, and it does get a lot of eyes, especially in terms of when you're wearing this on a belt, and especially, if you're walking around in public with this thing, especially if you're talking about it on YouTube. A lot of people want to know about this lightsaber. A lot of people want to know if this is worth buying. And, just holding it itself, I actually do think that this is worth buying, worth owning, especially if you are a lightsaber enthusiast and a lightsaber fan, and a fan of, Star Wars in general, especially the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy. This is also based on the designs from the Obi-Wan Kenobi hilt, because Luke Skywalker actually built his lightsaber in sort of the Star Wars mythos using sort of the plans for the Obi-Wan Kenobi hilt, which is blue. It would be cool in the future if you could actually change this hilt from green to blue, so that way you could have an Obi-Wan Kenobi style hilt. But for right now, with the Legacy lightsaber, the only thing that you can really change it to is green, which is fine with me just because of the fact that this is Luke Skywalker's hilt. And I definitely did want to compare this with my Ultra Sabers, which would be in a different video. So to put the blade back on, what you have to do is you have to line them up with these two sort of grooves in sort of the hilt, like so. and you just sort of push down on the hilt and twist, and then it makes sort of that sound effect. Now to turn the blade on itself, not a lot of people show you guys what you do. You either turn this on to power it up, and then you turn this down to power it down. All right, in a second. There we go. And you guys can hear sort of the hum of the lightsaber. I'm going to test the smooth swing functionality of this. I don't know if it does have smooth swing, but you know, in either case, this does have flash on clash if you do hit it on sort of a hard surface. So you get to your basic lightsaber swing functions that you get like in any order, you know, combat ready lightsaber. I really do like this. I think that this, for sort of the starter lightsaber, for someone that's just getting into sort of collecting lightsabers, for someone that's just getting into collecting sort of replica movie hilts, especially if you're kind of considering whether or not to go with sort of a custom lightsaber company or the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge hilts. I don't think you can go wrong with the Galaxy's Edge hilts. In my original video, I was kind of questioning whether or not this was going to be worth the money, because I was kind of worried at first, you know, is this going to be sort of a plastic style hilt? Is this going to have any metal components to it? Some of the lightsabers with the Obi-Wan Kenobi and the Vader one do have sort of that plastic portion to this, but this is all metal. This is probably my favorite lightsaber hilt design of all of Star Wars, and you know, I really do like sort of the green color that you got here. If you see in sort of the camera, it does have sort of that, you know, glow that goes through sort of the center of the core of the lightsaber blade. And like I said before, this is a 36-inch blade. On the Shop Disney shop, you can't get sort of the smaller hilt with the blades like you can at Doc Ondor's or Savi's Workshop. So that's a little bit disappointing, and hopefully in the future you can be able to purchase it on the website. I would hope that in the future you might be able to purchase this lightsaber more than sort of a limited release, because I know that they're doing a limited run of these things. But I do live in Minnesota, so it's relatively hard for me to actually go to Galaxy's Edge, relatively hard for me to get on a plane, go to California, go to Florida to kind of go and sort of see Galaxy's Edge for myself. Maybe one day I'll actually save up enough money and be able to do that. But I think if you're thinking about doing sort of a Luke Skywalker cosplay, if you're going to be doing sort of a fan film and you want sort of a Luke Skywalker hilt that's relatively cheap, these were originally on sale for $110, I think, on at Galaxy's Edge when they first opened, but now they're sort of $130, $160 with tax if you order them from the Shop Disney website. But overall, I think the design quality of this is awesome. The fact that this is aluminum and metal, and the fact that this is not sort of a plastic sort of lightsaber, I definitely do think that this is definitely worth the money. So if I had to give this sort of a rating in terms of, you know, my normal rating scale, since I do go by sort of an A, B, C, D sort of rating scale, I would have to give this lightsaber probably about an A from Savi's Workshop. You know, I like the fact that this does have sort of the flash and clash on it, and I like the fact that this can, you know, power up, power down, and it has sort of the lightsaber sound effects from the Luke Skywalker Return of the Jedi hilt. All of these lightsabers that you purchase from Galaxy's Edge do have their own specific sounds to the lightsaber hilt. So if you get the Obi-Wan Kenobi, it's going to be different from the Vader, from the Kylo Ren. It's going to be different from sort of the other legacy lightsaber hilts that you can purchase with sort of the legacy lightsabers and stuff from Galaxy's Edge. So I would highly recommend that if you're going to Galaxy's Edge, if you're going to be going to sort of Star Wars land, if you're going to be thinking about purchasing a lightsaber, definitely consider purchasing this one, because I definitely think that you'll be happy with your purchase, especially if you're an OT fan, if you're a fan of the original trilogy, prequel trilogy. If you're a fan of Star Wars in general, I really do like this lightsaber. So that is going to be my thoughts and opinions of the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge Luke Skywalker Return of the Jedi hilt. And just to kind of give you an overview of this, you got sort of the metal hilt, you got the exchangeable emitter section here, you've also got the really cool movie accurate activation box, you got sort of the D-ring, and you got the light up and power down sort of sound effects. But overall, let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of this lightsaber, especially the blade length and everything. Are you going to be purchasing this lightsaber from Doc Ondar? Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of this lightsaber hilt. And as always, guys, rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.